What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Kevin Aki here for the Pizza Hut Countdown for the Dota 2 International, and we're talking with Mr. Simon Haag, otherwise known as Handsken from Complexity Gaming, who advanced out of the Americas qualifier to participate in this almost $20 million Dota tournament, the biggest ever. All right, so let's start right off the top right now. You used to play for NIP, you're playing for Complexity now. What has it been like the last year of Dota since the last International? We've seen teams get a lot closer across the board. How competitive is this International going to be, in your opinion?
I mean, as we did a little bit of the pre-talk, I think that this might be the most competitive TI we might ever, or like we have seen so far. The wild card, I think, is going to be very even. The groups were recently announced, and I think, I don't know, there's not really any team that you can say is like a huge underdog here. There's going to be great back-to-back matches all the way through, I think.
So how are you guys in Complexity feeling? Obviously, in the Americas qualifier, did a great showing, 5-1 in the round robin stage. You beat EG right out of the gate. You beat Digital Chaos. You made it all the way to the finals. It was a great performance. How are you guys feeling coming into this tournament?
I mean, like going into it, we have definitely not had the best results. We probably should have made it through into the main event through our qualifier, which we f***ed up a little bit, in my opinion. And obviously, Starlighter wasn't the greatest for us. But even though like a lot of that's like on-camera stuff, like live matches stuff like that. But our preparation has been going amazingly. We've added our new coach Nahas. We've achieved some great things with him in practice, and I think that we have a lot to prove here, and I think we're going to surprise a lot of people.
You totally just preempted my next question, because I was absolutely going to ask about Nahas, because he's like one of my favorite guys in esports, period. I am a big numbers person, so I love anyone who wants to come in with like sabermetric style, baseball statistics and stuff like that. I got to ask, though, how has he been as, coach, manager, analyst, that sort of thing? Is it different than any other analyst you've worked with in the past? How has it been?
I think he's awesome. He's definitely the best analyst / coach, whatever you want to call it, that I work with. People seem to think that he's much more of a stats guy than like he actually is, at least for us. Like obviously he's good, he's big on stats and everything like that, but what he offers to us is like maturity, I think, and he's very good at solution-based communication. I don't know, he just brings a lot to the table in a different perspective, and as I mentioned, like he's a bit older, which brings maturity, and I don't know, he's just a different mindset for us, and not necessarily the best Dota player ever, but he has a lot of good things to say, I think, and he's really helped us. Like, we would not have been doing it nearly as well without him, I think.
That's right.
In terms of preparation. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about your path into Dota then, obviously, because I don't think that when you were 10 years old, you'd think you'd be playing for $20 million at the Key Arena in Seattle or something like that. So what's it been like? What's your history of gaming? How'd you get into this whole Dota thing?
I mean, getting into Dota was quite a smooth transition, I think. Before Dota, I was a Han pro, so I had been doing this for a while before. I've been going to LANs and stuff like that with old teammates. So just like, it was a natural transition. The game was dying, Han, and then you search for something new. I was going back to school at the time. I was pretty much ready to give up on being a professional, but then like tried to play Dota, and I ended up making a team with my old team, which was Seal Kid, Jonas, as you may know from NIP, and then we just made a new team, and I don't know, it came, how do you say? It was quite a smooth transition, I guess.
So I'll ask you, this is an interesting question to me, and this is something that I've been trying to figure out just, as a fan of esports overall. So the International, apart from being the biggest event in the world for Dota, was really known to the wider esports community for having the biggest prize pool, right? It was the one that had the $20 million prize pool. That's awesome. How relevant do you think that is nowadays, truthfully? Like, does it matter that there's the biggest prize pool ever for this anymore? Does that have the same effect? Or since players are, they have other majors, they're making money other ways, does that really matter as much anymore?
I think it definitely does, especially for Dota, I think, because if you compare it to other esport titles, like Counter-Strike, for example, those players make a ton of money through salary and stickers and whatnot, stuff like that. In Dota, I think generally salaries are not that high, and it's a lot more about prize pool. Like, you need to do well at the majors and a TI to like be very, very top tier. You cannot just be mediocre and like make a really good living off it. You need to actually perform in Dota. And I think with TI, of course, the prize pool is a huge incentive to play in it, but I think it's just the most procedural tournament there is in esports right now. So
absolutely. What has been your favorite personal moment? The one moment of pro gaming that you looked up and went, Yeah, this is pretty awesome.
I mean, might be a very obvious answer, but it has to be when I won X Games, MLG X Games.
Oh, sure.
Last year, and it has a lot of prestige to it, like having a X Game gold medal, and that's the only LAN I ever won, so it's got to be that moment.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Handsken. I really appreciate it. Get to practice. Sorry to take up so much of your time, but
No
we're
problem
really,
at all.
you know, I mean, I don't know at this point, since so many of the teams are international, whether we shout USA at the end of this, but you know what?
Sure.
Good luck.
It'll work, yeah, sure.
All right, I appreciate it. Hey, thank you so much, though, Handsken. Good luck in the tournament. We'll talk to you later.
No problem. See you around.
All right, and that is going to wrap things up here for this Dota 2 international interview at the Pizza Hut Countdown. And we're going to have all sorts of coverage, the entire length of the international, right here on IGN.